Hi there. So, today I just want to talk about something that I don't think gets talked about enough, and that is losing yourself. There was a season in my life where I felt like I had lost my sense of identity. And from the outside, everything looked fine. I was functioning and I was still showing up, and nobody knew, but internally I felt really disconnected from myself. And for a while, it felt like my life was responding more to my fears. And I felt like I had lost my power. And that really shook me. I realized something. It taught me something that changed everything for me. And I realized that you can be saying all the right affirmations and practicing gratitude and trying to think positive, but if your nervous system is overwhelmed, your subconscious will just reflect more things to be overwhelmed about. Your nervous system will always win over affirmations. It's about how you feel deeply. And a little about my story first here. So, a few years ago, I went through a really major life transition. I became a mom, which has been the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. But at the same time, there were some really heavy things going on behind the scenes in my personal life, and my entire world shifted. And I didn't feel like myself anymore. I didn't identify with my career anymore. And I was about 15 years into my career as a hairstylist and makeup artist at that time, and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I didn't feel in control of my energy the way I used to, and I just felt really disconnected. And before all of this, I was someone who felt really powerful, and for years I felt in control of my energy. I manifested so many incredible things in my life, and I was really good at manifesting what I wanted. And I was really in tune with my energy. So when my whole world flipped upside down, I didn't recognize myself anymore. Like, it was really scary. And that whole season lasted a couple of years. So the turning point for me was realizing that I wasn't taking care of myself the way that I used to. And manifestation and personal power doesn't work when your nervous system is exhausted and you're overwhelmed. Like, I couldn't just think positive and I couldn't just visualize a better reality. I realized that I had to rebuild my foundation, and that foundation was self care. Self care is so important, and I'm not talking about just bubble baths. Self care as a lifestyle. I had to commit to myself and what I needed. So I just wanted to share with you what I did to rebuild myself and how I stepped into this new version of me and get past all that. So I started with the basics, and which it's so simple but often easy to forget when we're feeling overwhelmed. So sleeping enough, drinking enough water, eating healthier foods, taking my vitamins, getting sunlight, and moving my body, like going for a walk and stretching and a little light workout, like just the basics. And it sounds simple, but when your system is overloaded, we sometimes forget how important these basics are. Your body needs stability before your mind can feel clear. So the next thing that I had to learn how to do was set boundaries. I learned how to say no to things that I didn't want to do. I stopped over explaining myself, and I stopped people pleasing, which was a big one for me because I have been a people pleaser my entire life. I got honest about what and who was draining me, and I cleaned up my social media. I cleared clutter in my home, and I stepped back from certain conversations that didn't feel good. I let go of relationships that felt heavy. That was hard. That was hard to do, but I felt so much relief afterwards. And your nervous system responds to your environment and who you surround yourself with. So let go of people and things that don't make you feel good. And I realized I had to put myself first and protect my energy. So the next thing I did was I committed to myself. I started committing to myself the way that I used to commit to everyone else. And I made sure to make time to journal and reflect, which I still love to do every morning. And I practiced taking a breath before reacting. And I made sure to go for walks every day, which is something that I absolutely love to do. And I also started practicing sitting in discomfort instead of trying to escape and numb myself. And so here's what happened. When my body felt supported and my environment was clear and clean, and my boundaries were set and clear, I felt so much better. And I didn't have to force anything anymore. I felt steady and in control. And I started to feel like myself again. And I share this because I know what it feels like to lose yourself completely. And I also know what it feels like to rebuild and what it takes to rebuild yourself. And it can feel like a lot of work at first, but you just have to take it slowly and intentionally and from the inside out. Self-care isn't luxury, it's stability. And stability is what allows you to create the life that you actually want. So if you're in a season where you're feeling disconnected from yourself, start with the basics and start small. If you're feeling really overwhelmed, I suggest just committing to doing one thing for yourself, and you can add more as you go. But support your body, support your energy, protect your energy, choose yourself, and just take one small step at a time. The rest will follow. I just want to say thank you for spending this time with me today. And if you're in a rebuilding season, just know that you're not alone. And I will be sharing more about self-care and nervous system stability, stepping into your personal power from a grounded place, and yeah, lots of good stuff. So I hope you take one small step today for yourself, and I'm really glad you're here. I hope you have a really beautiful day.